In today's pass-happy league, it's imperative for NFL teams to feature at least one Pro Bowl caliber wideout. You just can't expect to win if a quarterback doesn't have any playmakers to get the ball to. As we await the start of the 2021 NFL season, it's time to share our annual rankings for every NFL team's #1 wideout, from worst to first. Number 32, Tyrell Williams, Detroit Lions. Tight end TJ Hawkinson will be the go-to pass catcher for newcomer Jared Goff. After that, you can take your pick between Williams or Brashad Perryman as the Lions' top wideout. We'll go with Williams because of his better track record. He missed the entire 2020 campaign, but posted over 650 receiving yards in each of the previous 4 seasons. Number 31, Nelson Agholor, New England Patriots. Tight ends Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry were the big adds in free agency, but don't discount the impact Agholor could bring to the new look Pats offense. Agholor is coming off a career year with the Las Vegas Raiders, recording 896 yards while finding the end zone 8 times. Agholor will be key in short yardage and third down situations. Number 30, DJ CHARK, Jacksonville Jaguars. Toss-up between CHARK and newcomer Marvin Jones for the #1 spot on the Jags depth chart. But we'll give it to CHARK because he's only 2 years removed from a 1,000-yard season. CHARK missed 3 games last season and saw his catch percentage fall by 4.9 points. He's a prime bounce-back candidate with Trevor Lawrence leading the offense now. Number 29, Henry Ruggs, Las Vegas Raiders. Better health, more familiarity with the offense, and the departure of Nelson Agholor should add up to a better version of Ruggs in his sophomore year. The Alabama product wasn't much of a factor in his rookie season, notching just 26 catches for 452 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Ruggs should be featured more prominently in 2021. Number 28, Marquise Brown, Baltimore Ravens. Rookie Rashad Bateman and free agent pickup Sammy Watkins will push hard for the leading receiver spot, but it goes to Brown for now. Following a solid sophomore campaign that saw him record 58 catches for 769 yards and 8 touchdowns. Brown hasn't put up dazzling numbers yet, but he's been a red zone weapon for Lamar Jackson with 15 touchdowns through his first 2 seasons. Number 27, Brandin AIYUK, San Francisco 49ers. AIYUK missed 4 games last season, but displayed signs of stardom in Kyle Shanahan's offense. The versatile athlete led the 49ers in catches and yards. He found the end zone 7 times. 2 of them were rushing scores. Better quarterback play should help AIYUK really break out in year 2. George Kittle will take a lot of those targets away. 1,000 yards isn't out of the question for the 2020 first-round pick. Number 26, T.Y. Hilton, Indianapolis Colts. Hilton probably isn't a Pro Bowl talent anymore, but he remains a problem for the opposing defensive coordinators. That said, don't be surprised if Zach Pascal, Paris Campbell, or Michael Pittman Jr. overtake him for the #1 receiver role in 2021. Number 25, Corey Davis, New York Jets. Davis had a career year in his final season with the Tennessee Titans, and it led to a shiny payday with the Jets. A 3-year, $37.5 million pact. The only question is how Davis will produce in an offense with a rookie quarterback. We don't know if Zach Wilson is the real deal or if his final season at BYU was a fluke, so it's tough to project Davis' production right now. Number 24, Brandin Cooks, Houston Texans. Lost in the miserable 2020 Texans season was the fact that Cooks had a stellar year. Only 11 players topped his 1,150 receiving yards. Thing is, he likely won't have Deshaun Watson throwing him the ball anymore, so it's hard to see Cooks matching those numbers, let alone exceeding them in 2021. With all due respect, Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills are not on Watson's level. Number 23, Kenny Golladay, New York Giants. 2020 was a write-off for Golladay, as he only played in 5 games, but 1 year earlier he led the NFL with 11 touchdown receptions. It's tough to project Galladay's numbers on his new team. He joins a crowded receivers room, and Daniel Jones hasn't quite put it together yet. Will Golladay help him break out, or will his production suffer at the hands of mediocre quarterback play? Number 22, DeVonta Smith, Philadelphia Eagles. Smith should do great things with Jalen Hurts, his former Crimson Tide teammate. The 2020 Heisman Trophy winner is going to be a superstar, and given Philly's thin depth chart, it wouldn't surprise us if Smith were among the leaders in some receiving categories. Buy the hype. Number 21, Jamar Chase, Cincinnati Bengals. With all due respect to Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, it's easy for us to pick Chase as the new #1 wideout in Cincinnati. This guy and Joe Burrow were an unstoppable duo together at LSU. Why shouldn't it translate over to the NFL? Number 20, Juju Smith-Schuster, Pittsburgh Steelers. Tough call between Juju, Chase Claypool, and Deontay Johnson, who led the Steelers with 923 yards last year. But Smith-Schuster actually had 9 more catches on 16 less targets than Johnson, and his overall production production up to this point kind of speaks for itself. At any rate, the production of Pittsburgh's Big Three will largely depend on the play of a fading past his prime Ben Roethlisberger. Number 19, Jarvis Landry, Cleveland Browns. Ooh, the Browns beating the Steelers, wow. Landry makes it here over Odell Beckham Jr. because when you compare the numbers, the former's production has actually been better during their time in Cleveland. Landry has averaged more yards and catches per game than OBJ, and his catch percentage is 5.7 points higher. Landry's production dipped in 2020 because the Browns featured a virtually unstoppable run game, featuring Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. That's okay though. Landry is a supreme route runner and remains Baker Mayfield's go-to guy in the passing game. Number 18, DeVonta Parker, Miami Dolphins. A toss-up between Parker, Will Fuller, and rookie Jalen Waddle. But who knows how Fuller will translate to a new offense? And Waddle, being a rookie and all, may take some time to adjust to the NFL. So we'll give the Dolphins wide receiver one spot to Parker, who regressed considerably after a breakout 2019 season. Of course, he didn't have the best QB play from Ryan Fitzpatrick and Tua Tagovailoa. If Tua can bounce back in year two, Parker should be the primary beneficiary. Number 17, Courtland Sutton, Denver Broncos. Sutton suffered a season-ending ACL tear in week 2, and the Broncos offense missed him dearly. Prize receiver Jerry Jeudy, who led Denver in receiving, had his moments, but he also struggled with drops and consistency, leading us to believe that Sutton is still the team's top wideout. The fourth-year product has that chemistry with Drew Lock, who struggled to get on the same page with Jeudy and his other pass catchers. A healthy Sutton should make a big difference for this Denver offense. Number 16, Amari Cooper, Dallas Cowboys. He only had Dak Prescott for 5 games and had to share targets with fellow wideouts Michael Gallup and CeeDee Lamb. But it didn't stop Cooper from turning in another excellent year in Dallas. Cooper had 92 catches for 1,114 yards and 5 touchdowns in 2020. Jared Jones has made a lot of questionable decisions, but trading for the 4-time Pro Bowler will go down as one of his best moves. Number 15, DJ Moore, Carolina Panthers. Only Marquez Valdes-Scantling and Nelson Aguilar averaged more yards per catch in 2020 than Moore, who averaged 18.1. Pretty special when you consider that Carolina had 4 players post over 1,000 yards of offense last year. Not to mention that the play from Teddy Bridgewater was pretty meh. Sam Darnold is a better fit for this offense. We fully expect him to get even more out of Moore's talents. Number 14, Terry McLaurin, Washington Football Team. Gotta admire McLaurin's production considering the lackluster quarterback play he's had. Ryan Fitzpatrick's gunslinging ways should help McLaurin rack up some pretty nice stats though. Not to mention the addition of Curtis Samuel should help open the field for Scary Terry. Number 13, Mike Evans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons. What more can we say? Only this time, Evans got to play on a Super Bowl championship team. He and Tom Brady just couldn't be stopped in the final stretch of the season and throughout the playoffs. Evans' numbers might not be elite anymore, now that he has to share targets with Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, and Scotty Miller. But he's still one of the game's absolute toughest one-on-one matchups, unless your name's Marshawn Lattimore or Jalen Ramsey, of course. Number 12, Keenan Allen, Los Angeles Chargers. One of the game's elite route runners. Allen has it all. Size, speed, world-class athleticism, and hands. He's averaged over 70 yards a game in each of the last 4 seasons. The rise of Justin Herbert ensures that Allen will remain one of the top NFL receivers for years to come. Number 11, Cooper Kupp, Los Angeles Rams. Kupp saw his stats decline a bit following a career year in 2019, but who cares? His quarterback is now Matthew Stafford, who's a noticeable upgrade over Jared Goff. With Stafford, Kupp, and Robert Woods running the show, this LA offense is going to be tough to stop. Number 10, A.J. Brown, Tennessee Titans. What a find Brown was with a number 51 selection in 2019. He gets the nod for this list over newcomer Julio Jones because he's younger and healthier. Brown also has more familiarity in the Tennessee offense, whereas it could take Jones some time to learn a new system. Brown has opened his career to 2 straight 1,000-yard seasons and 19 total receiving touchdowns. Right now, it sure looks like he's setting himself up to have a Julio Jones-type career. Michael Thomas, New Orleans Saints. The 2019 Offensive Player of the Year was limited to 7 games because of an ankle injury, and when he was on the field, unlimited Thomas just wasn't able to do much. Now he's expected to miss a large chunk of the 2021 season following ankle surgery. But let's not write Thomas off entirely. When he was healthy, he was arguably the NFL's top wideout. I mean, his 149 receptions in 2019 are still single-season record, and that wasn't even 2 full years ago. If Thomas can return to full health, he should be able to reassert himself as a top 5 wideout. Number 8, Allen Robinson, Chicago Bears. Robinson's numbers are especially impressive when you remember that he's never once had a good quarterback. Apologies to Blake Bortles and Nick Foles and Mitch Trubisky, but it's true. I mean, Foles is pretty decent, Trubisky kind of was okay, Blake Bortles had 1 year. That's about it. Robinson was 6th in catches and 9th in receiving yards last year. 2021 might be his final season in Chicago. It sure would be nice to see him finally team up with a top-tier quarterback somewhere. Number 7, Calvin Ridley. Atlanta Falcons. Ridley's monster 2020 season totally played a factor in Atlanta's decision to trade Julio Jones. They know Ridley is the new number 1 wideout for Matt Ryan and company. With Julio out for half the season, Ridley produced grade A numbers, despite commanding all the attention from opposing defenses. The team clearly sees something special in their 2018 first-round pick. Can he continue to get the job done, now that he's their full-time go-to guy? Number 6, Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings. Double J just had the greatest rookie season for a wideout ever, with 88 catches for 1,400 yards and 7 touchdowns. We can't wait to see what he does for an encore. Jefferson barely lost out on the receiving crown to Stephon Diggs, who had 135 more yards. But here's the catch. Diggs had 41 more targets and 39 more catches. Just saying. Number 5, DK Metcalf, Seattle Seahawks. Metcalf is truly the complete package. Guys of his size just aren't supposed to move as quickly as he does. His chase down of Budda Baker was really a sight to behold. Tyler Lockett actually had 17 more catches and as many touchdowns as Metcalf last year, but the latter is a far more explosive playmaker, having recorded 249 more receiving yards than his teammate in 2020. Number 4, Stephon Diggs, Buffalo Bills. All he did in his first year with Buffalo was lead the NFL in receptions with 127 and in yards with 1,535. In other words, the trade for Diggs was so worth it. He and Josh Allen wasted no time terrorizing opposing defenses. Credit Diggs for allowing Allen to take his game to an MVP level, and for helping to take these Bills to their first AFC title game in 27 years. Number 3, Tyreek Hill, Kansas City Chiefs. Being a teammate of Travis Kelce will likely prevent Tyreek Hill from ever leading the NFL in receiving, but that's okay. He's still an elite wideout, and arguably the toughest one-on-one cover in the game today. The only way to neutralize Hill is to double team him. Do that and you risk leaving Travis Kelce in a one-on-one matchup. So yeah, pick your poison. Number 2, DeAndre Hopkins, Arizona Cardinals. Hopkins' first season with Arizona couldn't have gone much better, at least from a statistical standpoint. He and Devonta Adams had 115 receptions apiece, tied for second most. Only Diggs and Kelce had more receiving yards than Hopkins, who racked up 1,407. Hopkins sure made Houston regret that blockbuster trade early. The 5-time Pro Bowler is on a Hall of Fame trajectory. Number 1, Devonta Adams, Green Bay Packers. It's such a different debate, but for now, we have to give a slight edge to Adams over Jefferson, Hill, Metcalf, Diggs, and Hopkins. Nobody can match Adams' superb route running skills or his burst at the line of scrimmage. He led the league with 18 touchdown catches in 2020, and he's recorded at least 10 TDs in 4 of the last 5 seasons. And now he and Aaron Rodgers have many believing that 2021 will be their last dance in Green Bay. It's good news for the other 31 teams and their defenses, because this duo has been borderline unstoppable over the past few years, except for in the AFC Championship game. Who do you think is the NFL's best wide receiver entering the 2021 season? Join me in the comment section below. Make sure to follow myself and TPS on social media. We post great content all the time. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, we're on everything. Go subscribe, go follow. If you like this video, give it a like. It takes one click down below and subscribe to TPS. We post videos every day. Every day's a new video. Of course, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jason Biondo. I'll see you next time.